switch lanes. It's real short. I don't know if it's a bigger clip than this because it's not letting me pause it.
If you consider a source.
So here you go right here. So this is something I was going to do a video on. I'm like, yeah, I could just put it in the live stream and clip it. So this is interesting. I'm going to let it play a couple times, and I want to know what y'all think.
Because now you're sitting here, and here's what's interesting. In the report, they consider Ausar Thompson their second best player. If you consider Ausar your second best player, first of all, you're effed as far as winning a championship. Because now you're sitting here, and here's what's interesting. In the report, they consider Ausar Thompson their second best player. If you consider Ausar your second best player, first of all, you're effed as far as winning a championship. Because now.
So, I mean, that's interesting that he said that, right? And he's, if you didn't hear what he said or didn't understand, it was Mike Valenti, if you're just listening. He said if you consider Ausar Thompson your second best player, which has been reported, you're effed if he's your second best player on the championship team. Now, it seems like he don't have an issue with Durham being the second best player. I mean, in this clip, me assuming, it seems like I could see Durham being the second best player. And like I said, I would agree with that right now. I know Ausar is just so dominant defensively, but Durham can do things that other players can't do at his position, and Ausar can too. I mean, you see the flashes of the mid-range jump shot, don't look bad. You see him be able to take guys off the dribble, handle the ball a lot good, being a really good passer, get up and down the floor. The durability is starting to get fixed with him. Defensively, he flashes here and there. Everybody big thing is the lights are too bright for him. I mean, he's not a finished product, and that's what I live by. But I think what Mike Valenti is missing in what he's missing is that they are projecting. They're projecting Ausar Thompson to be their second best player. I think that's what he's missing. I think they're banking on him getting a jump shot. I think they say he can defend. I think most people say he's the best defender in the NBA after the playoffs, and that's including Victor Wembanyama. Okay, he can dribble, he can pass, But now the problem is when a jump shot, he doesn't have the confidence to shoot the jump shot. He can't drive, he can't finish at the rim. And if they're saying that we believe that he can get a jump shot, he's our second best player. And, and the mode is Kawhi Leonard. The mode is Paul George. That's the mode they look at him in. Kawhi didn't have the best jump shot coming in. I don't even say Kawhi probably would handle the ball as good as this kid or pass it as good as this kid. But Kawhi was a worker. He was a worker bee. He worked on his jump shot. He worked on his form. You know what I'm saying? He worked on his mid-range jumper, and that's what Kawhi really made his chili at, was the mid-range jumper. And then he kind of took it out to the three-point line. And I think looking at the shots that Ausar Thompson is taking this summer, just some of the clips, and they don't really mean much in the grand scheme of things. But looking at some of the mid-range jumpers, that kind of him going to the mid-range a little bit more and stopping and popping and off the dribble a little bit. I think he's understood, let me just work on 10 to 15 feet and shooting that jumper. But if he able to hit that mid-range jumper, something that Tony Parker was able to do, if he was able to hit that mid-range jumper, he is your second best player. And I think if that jumper fall, I think you'll see him as a ball handler excel. I think him as a ball handler excels. I think him as his assist would excel, and I think he's somebody with Dennis Jenkins and Kay Cunningham behind Kay Cunningham, and eventually with Abuka Corey can handle the ball for you. The reason he can't handle the ball now is because they pack the paint in on him. So if they can pack the paint in on him, who can he really facilitate to? He can't throw a lob to Durham. If he drive it, he can't really drive and kick, because guess what? Everybody gonna stay home on the shooters because they be like, we'll live with him shooting a layup. So his inability, his shot is affecting his whole offensive game. His shot is affecting his whole offensive game, because if he's scared to shoot, then he really be missing layups. He really be missing dunks. Then he's not aggressive offensively. So then if he drive, like I said, who can he create for if everybody packing the paint or staying at home on a shooter? So, but if he able to hit a shot, in my opinion, you probably can win a championship with him and Durant and Cade. I mean, yeah, because it changes everything. You got Kawhi Leonard right there with you. You got Paul George right there with you. You know what I'm saying? You got a Scottie Pippen right there with you. You got him right there with you. I mean, you got, you want to go a little bit further, maybe Grant Hill type right there with you. So I get what he's saying, but he's not a finished product. Now, if he is a finished product and he never able to get a jump shot, then you looking like, okay, Bruce Bowen can't be your second best player. Tony Allen can't be your second best player. I get it at that point, but I think there's projection here. And then you got to also understand this point of view. They didn't pick Ausar Thompson. They didn't pick him. So this is totally objective. I think this is the number one thing missed about Ausar Thompson and Jalen Duren too. Make sure I thumbs up the video. They didn't pick these guys. I think people forget that. They didn't pick them. Jalen Duren was picked by Troy Weaver, which I thought was a great pick. Ausar Thompson, I was the only one standing on the table picking Ausar Thompson. Everybody wanted somebody different. I say, bro, they take one of them Thompson boys. They can play. I got videos in the archives. So you got to remember, this is a totally objective standpoint. You can just tell they wanted to get rid of Jaden Ivey. They wanted to get rid of Jaden Ivey. They really did. They wanted to dump Jaden Ivey in the trash. The best thing that happened for them, and I'm not saying this is the best thing that happened, was Jaden Ivey getting hurt. Because they really wanted to move Jaden Ivey off that spot. That's a fact. Because Jaden Ivey was playing really, really well. He shot the ball really, really well. He played really, really well. They wanted to get rid of Jaden Ivey. They wanted to get rid of him. And Ausar Thompson, they could have got rid of him, had blood clots, got sick. They really, really like him. And they really, really like him. And then you look in that draft, it's a lot of guys that's still developing. I like where Wembanyama is. I like where Brandon Miller is. I think Scoot's starting to turn that corner. It's going to be hard playing with a whole bunch of other guards. This is the draft that Thompson's in. Amen Thompson, he went one over Ausar. Right now, I would say Ausar's stock is above Amen Thompson. And looking at their jump shot, Amen kind of got still a little hitch to his jump shot. Thompson's jump shot look a little bit fluid. I think Anthony Black is going to be big time in my opinion. I don't know nothing about this kid from France. Josh Walker, a lot of Piston fans wanted him. It didn't work out. I love Taylor Kendricks. Don't know what happened with him. Cason Wallace is doing pretty well. A lot of people like him. Jet Howard, don't know what happened. Derek Lively is doing well in Dallas. I think he got injured last year. Grady Dick, I thought somebody the Pistons should look at, but they got enough shooters right now. He drowning up there in Toronto. Jordan Hawkins, Kobe Buffkin from Michigan. I don't know what happened to bro. Keontae George, I like him a lot. Yami Vaquez, he's playing well. Pravinsky, they trying to give him every shot over there. Cam Whitmore just got traded again. I like this game coming out of Villanova. Don't know what happened. Obviously, Marcus Sasser, he went here. We just traded him, didn't give him a chance. So yeah, this draft, it wasn't horrible, but I can't really rate it because there's a lot of guys still coming up. I'm a believer in Anthony Black, though. I am. Other guys in this draft in the second round, I don't really know. Ain't this the dude that Drake was smashing his mom? Drake was smashing his mom, Amari Bailey. Am I tripping? Yeah, I don't know what happened to my brother, Amani Bates. But yeah. Y'all get what I'm saying. So, but yeah, I see where they say he's the second best player. I definitely get that because they're projecting him to make a jumper. And what I've seen, we've seen Killian hit a bunch of jumpers and working out, but they were usually, guys with pads and Ausar shooting them in the game. So if he can just do what Kawhi did, if he can do what Tony Parker did, master that mid-range jumper, I think it's a wrap. I think he can be your second best player, in my opinion. I wonder if JD messing up the team chemistry by holding. No, they was all at K Day in Arlington. A lot of them was at Jalen Duren Day in Delaware. Nah. I'm gonna say this. Shout out to Man Beats More. So y'all go subscribe. When you work with guys, they understand about the money factor. That's why I tell guys at work, when you work with, never discuss how much money you make. But they understand the money. They understand it. I don't think it's messing up the chemistry. I think they understand the situation. So I think if it got that bad, K would just go to Tom Gores and vouch for him. I think Tom Gores would pay him. The hate is real no matter what we do. It's not good enough to the media. Yeah, true. Mike V been saying shock jock shit for some time. I mean, it's not a bad take. It's not a bad take because you start to look at, Cleveland, Harden, Mitchell, Mobley, Philadelphia, which, y'all know how I feel about Philly, but it's still Tyrese, Brian, Joel, Brown, which I think Jaylen Brown's the best player on that team, but I think it's Maxey team. I mean, Boston, Jason Tatum, Derek White, I guess. So, but Ausar Thompson shoot a jump shot. It's not. Ausar seems to be improving. I love his game and overall potential. Yeah, they're not really in a rush, in my opinion. What you rushing for?